Evening and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios. Rick Olson here, and tonight we have a boys basketball game from Thorp, Wisconsin, pitting the 5-9 Colfax Vikings, who are 3-6 in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference, against the 5-15 Thorp Cardinals, who are 1-9 in the Clover Belt West Conference. Now, tonight's game is a makeup for the game that was originally scheduled for December 3rd, which was postponed due to COVID at Thorp. The Vikings are coming off a well-played, albeit 57-49 loss to the Durand Panthers on Friday, while the Cardinals are coming off a 59-45 loss at the hands of the Regis Ramblers back on January 31st. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Thorp Cardinals and the Colfax Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Noel's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school boys basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's boys basketball game between the Thorp Cardinals and the Colfax Vikings. The Vikings are looking to improve on their 7-9 record and strive toward a winning season. They feel as though they proved they can be competitive with just about anyone following their scrappy 57-49 loss to the Durand Panthers. In that loss to Durand, the Vikings were led in scoring by both 5'10 senior Bryce Sikora and 5'8 sophomore Elijah Ensminger, who each hit for 17 points. They were followed by Nathan Hajdukovic, who added another 6 points. Now, thus far on the season, the Vikings are led in scoring by Ensminger, who's averaging nearly 12 points per game. He's followed by Hajdukovic, who's putting up 8.5 points per game. Bryce Sikora adds another 8 points per game, while Ryan Albright chips in nearly 7 points per game. Leading the way rebounding for the Vikings is Tristan Lenz, who's grabbing over 7 boards per game. He's helped by Hajdukovic and Nick Jensen, who each pull down over 4 rebounds per game. The Cardinals are coming off a 59-45 loss to the Regis Ramblers back on January 31st. Leading the way for Thorp was 5'10 junior guard Adam Rosemeyer, who picked up 13 points. He was followed by Brady Stewart, who contributed 11 points to the effort. Thus far on the season, the Thorp Cardinals are led by Rosemeyer, who's averaging 11 points per game. He's followed by Ryan Rather, who averages just under 11 points per game. Other major contributors include Zach Tierman and Stewart, who are averaging nearly 9 and 7 points, respectively. Now, coming into tonight's game, the Vikings are averaging nearly 53 points per game while giving up an average of almost 61. The Cardinals are scoring a mere 37 points per game and surrender 50. Coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Mark Noel on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV by calling 715-563-1749.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, what they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Once again, we're talking with Viking Boys head coach Mark Knoll on Coach's Corner. And Coach, last Friday, the Vikings dug themselves a bit of a hole against Durand. As try as they might, they just couldn't recover before dropping that game 57-49. What can you tell us about that game?
Well, I think, number one, we had some players, step up in different ways. We had two players that scored 17 points. Elijah had 17 and Bryce had 17. And 17 was our lucky number because Tristan Linz also had 17 rebounds, which is the most anyone's had since I've been here. So we did a lot of great things. I mean, Durand's undefeated in conference for a reason. They've got a loaded team. They've got a great point guard, some good wings, and a good post player inside. With that said, I really liked the way that we competed and gave ourselves a chance. We were 2 for 8 from free throws. Number one, that's not enough free throw attempts, and number two, that's not enough free throw makes. So right there is one area where we can really improve that would help us get over that hump.
Now, from our vantage point, Dan and I talked after the game a little bit and felt that with the kind of effort that the Vikings put forth on Friday, other teams had better not take them too lightly. Your comments about that on the effort that the boys put forward.
Yes, I mean, it was obviously a great effort by our team. It's something that we've been really harping on about is our focus, our intensity level, and being ready to go from when they start that, when we get to that school or wherever we're playing. That's been kind of our MO, is not always focus as much as we need to be. And that's something that we've been talking a lot about with our guys. And I think we finally figured out how that we need to be ready to play these games and to play that, to lose by 8 on the road at Durand and tough environment. It was their parent night, so it was a good crowd in that gym, and it's a small gym, so it was a good basketball environment, and I'm happy with just the way that we played.
And you really showed some serious defense. Teams don't hold Durand down to 57 points very often, and you guys did a pretty nice job with that.
Yes, and that's something where we had 2 days of practice to get ready, and sometimes when we only have 1 day, it's just not quite enough. And we had 2 days to really prepare and to get ready for what we needed to do against Durand.
Now tonight, the Vikings take on a team from the Clover Belt West Conference that's had a season with similar ups and downs as the Vikings, and I'm referring to the Thorp Cardinals. What can you tell us about the Cardinals?
Well, what I can tell you, obviously, is number one, they play in a good conference. The Clover Belt is a tough basketball conference. What I can also tell you is Thorp. Thorp is, not the strongest with the ball, I'm going to say, and it's a game where we are going to want to speed them up. It's a game where we're going to want to be aggressive, and if we play a slower pace game, it'll be more in their favor. If we can speed them up and make the game a little quicker, then that'll be in our advantage. So that's going to be the deal.
Now, it appears as though the Cardinals focused their efforts through 5'10 junior Aiden Rosemeyer and 6' senior Seth Rather. Each one puts up about 11 points per game. What do the Vikings need to do to keep these two under control?
We need to pressure them. We need to put ball pressure on them. We need them to try to make plays and pass the ball. And if we're trapping them, they're going to have to get rid of the ball. So they're not going to be able to just come down and shoot easy shots. And then they've got a 6'3" post player that makes some plays too. He's been coming on strong for them as of late. And those are kind of the three main kids that we're going to be focused on tonight.
Now, at this time of the season, the bumps and bruises tend to show up a little more quickly. And how are the Vikings health-wise? I mean, I know Elijah Ensminger's nursing a bit of a hip issue. Is he going to be ready for tonight? And are the others healthy?
Yes, as far as I'm aware, we have no issues. The only one that's hurt is me. So that's the only one that has any kind of injuries of any kind. Everybody else is good to go.
Well, Coach Noel, good luck in tonight's game. I hope your injuries don't hold you back, and hopefully the Vikings get on the winning track tonight.
All right. Thank you very much. Go Vikings, and thank you for.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, with a look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. The Vikings are looking to get back on the winning track after playing well, but unfortunately coming up on the short end last Friday. At the same time, the Thorp Cardinals are looking to try to turn their 5-13 season around with a win tonight. So the stage is set for some exciting boys high school basketball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Now, in just a moment, we'll send it out to Thorp High School, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's non-conference boys game between the Colfax Vikings and the Thorp Cardinals. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Touchdown! Oh, did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that? I'm putting these new face filters. Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. I'm gonna need that back. No. Kevin!
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings boys game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Light Colfax Viking Basketball. It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Slayton's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Slayton's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Slayton's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Slayton's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Slayton's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Colfax Viking Basketball is on the air.
Lenz with the rebound puts it up and in. Christian Lenz gets the putback shot.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV proudly presents tonight's Colfax Viking Boys varsity basketball game.
And it's no good. Rebound taken down and put up and in. Ryan Albright with the rebound.
Join us as we head out to the gym for tonight's Viking basketball.
Inside, gives it off to Hoffman. Hoffman feeds underneath. The shot goes up and in by Nathan Hajdukovic.
Yeah, good cut there by Nate.
Good evening and welcome to Thorp High School. Rick Olson here along with Dan Petchow, Chris Olson on the camera, and we're excited to bring you Colfax Viking basketball as the Vikings have made the trip east to take on the Thorp Cardinals. Dan, what do the Cardinals have in store for us tonight?
Yeah, I think Cardinals are going to have to keep moving the ball around, try to get some open looks. Colfax is going to have a little height advantage tonight, so I expect an inside-out game for Colfax, and I can see Jensen, Swanson, and Lenz getting a lot of action tonight, and maybe the second half that'll be Ensminger and probably Albrecht.
Well, why don't you tell us who's going to start things out tonight?
Here's the starters for Thorp. They're going to go with senior number 2, Ryan Rather, junior number 5, Aiden Rosemeyer, sophomore number 20, Denzel Sutton, and senior number 33 is Zach Tyman.
And don't forget about sophomore number 10, Logan Hansen.
Oh yeah, forgot Logan.
He just ran right past him there.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to play with 5 guys today.
Yeah, it helps to have 5 out there, yeah. Okay, how about the Vikings?
For the Vikings, they're going to go with senior number 2, Nate Hajdukovic, senior number 4, Bryce Sikora, sophomore number 10, Elijah Ensminger, senior number 22, Tristan Lenz, and senior number 24, Ryan Albrecht.
Okay, and we're getting really close to sending it down to the scores table for their version of the national anthem, followed by the starting lineups as they give them. And so I think what we'll do is we'll set it down to the scores table right now.
Good evening, sports fans. Welcome to the Thorp High School for tonight's matchup between the Colfax Vikings and your Thorp Cardinals. To honor America and those who defend and sacrifice for your freedom, we please ask you to rise and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem. Admission to an interscholastic event is a privilege, and with that privilege comes responsibility. Responsibility to conduct oneself in a respectful manner where the game is enjoyable for other fans and participants. The School District of Thorp reminds you to be a positive leader on the court and in the stands. At the completion of this game, please exit the gym to the multi-purpose room and dispose of all garbage. Thank you. And now for tonight's starting lineups. A senior, number 2, Nate Hajdukovic. A senior, number 4, Bryce Sikora. A sophomore, number 10, Elijah Ensminger. A senior, number 22, Tristan Lenz. And a senior, number 24, Ryan Albrecht. The Vikings are coached by Mark Knoll, assisted by Tristan Kittleson, Nick Height, and Brett Prince. And now for your Cardinals, a senior, number 2, Ryan Rieger. A junior, number 5, Aiden Rosemeyer. A sophomore, number 10, Logan Hansen. A sophomore, number 20, Denzel Sutton. And a senior, number 33, Zach Teeman. The Cardinals are coached by Scott Horn, assisted by David Rumchak.
And those are the starting lineups. Again for the Vikings, it's Hajdukovic, Sikora, Ensminger, Lenz, and Albright. And for the Thorp Cardinals, it's Rather, Rosemeyer, Hansen, Sutton, and they said Teeman.
Teeman,
yes.
Okay.
So, Lenz to jump center for the Vikings. And I believe it's Rather. No, if I'm mistaken, it's Teeman. And the ball goes up. The tip is controlled by the Cardinals. They get it over to Rather, but the Vikings come away with it. Ensminger down the floor. He's on the right side. Gets it back out high to Sikora. He's high, wide, and right. Feeds it over to Ensminger. On the right wing. Gets it out to Albright. Between the circles. Over to Sikora. Sikora dribbles back out between the circles. Over to Ensminger on the right wing. Back out to Sikora. Down to the elbow. A turnaround jumper by Hajdukovic is no good. And coming away with it are the Cardinals. Logan Hansen on the dribble. Feeds it across the timeline to Rosemeyer. They get it into the free throw line to Rather. Then out to Sutton. Sutton down to the baseline to Hansen. Hansen back out to Sutton. They're on the right side. Sutton cross-court pass over to Rosemeyer. And out high to Tiemann. Puts up a shot from three, and it goes in. Zach Tiemann with the three. Puts the Thorp Cardinals on top, 3-0. Sikora with it. Feeds it to the free throw line to Lenz. Over to Hajdukovic. Then over to Albright. Puts up the three. He misses. And the Cardinals come away with it. This is Rather on the dribble. Feeds it over to the left side. They get it to Sutton. Back out high to Rosemeyer. Back to Sutton. Sutton cross-court pass over to the right side to Tiemann. And a cross-court pass over to Sutton. Puts up the shot, and he hit the three. 6-0. Thorp on top. Vikings bring it down the floor. Albright with it. Gets it out to Sikora on the left side. Back to Albright. Down to the left baseline to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic sending it back out to Albright. Then to Sikora. Then to Albright on the left wing. Back out to Sikora. To the free throw line to Lenz. Lenz in the paint. Puts the jumper up. Bounces off no good. Rebound tipped out of bounds. Last touch by the Vikings.
Colfax starting a little slow here. Thorp's going to be in 2-3 zone, it looks like, and so they got to make sure they move the ball.
And the ball gets tipped out of bounds by Sikora, so it'll still be Thorp ball. Vikings putting on full court press. Down the floor come the Cardinals, but the ball gets intercepted by Hajdukovic. Gets it over to Sikora, and the ball got kicked by Sutton. So it's going to be Viking ball on the baseline. Sikora to inbound. Sikora tries to feed it into the paint to Hajdukovic, but they miss connection. Sutton comes away with it, lays it up, misses, but got fouled by Ensminger. That's the first foul on anybody. And it's going to put Sutton at the line for two. Shot is up, no good. Denzel Sutton, the 5'9" sophomore for the Cardinals. Second shot on the way, it's no good. Lenz comes away with the rebound, gets it to Sikora. Sikora quickly across the timeline over to the left side to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic spins to the right elbow, gets it down to Ensminger on the right baseline. Drives towards the lane, now kicks it out to Hajdukovic at the top of the key. Turn around, puts it up, no good, gets his own rebound. It comes back to Sikora on the left side from the baseline. Shot is no good. Lenz with the rebound. Tries to muscle his way in, and we're going to get an offensive foul on Lenz. And we have a substitution for the Vikings. Nick Jensen into the lineup. Jensen coming in for Lenz. And down the floor come the Cardinals. Rosemeyer with it, but the ball gets taken away by Hajdukovic. Takes it into the lane, puts it up, it's no good. Rebound taken down and put back up and in by Ensminger. Elijah Ensminger gets the Vikings on the board, 6-2. Sutton with it, feeds it across the timeline to Rather. They feed it across to Hansen, who lays it up and in. Sikora with a jump shot from the lane is no good. Rebound taken away by the Cardinals. This is Rosemeyer. Feeds it to Hansen, puts it up. He got fouled on the way up. Logan Hansen to go to the line for 2. Thorp Cardinals leading the Vikings 8-2. Hansen at the line, 5'11" sophomore. First shot's on its way, rattles around and in. Into the lineup is Mitch Medine. Tristan Lenz back into the lineup for the Vikings. Second shot on the way. That one's no good. Rebound taken down by Lenz. Down the floor comes Sikora. Feeds it over to the right baseline to Ensminger. To Jensen from the free throw line. Shot is up and in. Nick Jensen with a nice smooth-looking shot from the free throw line. 9-4. Cardinals with it.
Here
they lose the handle, and we're going to get a traveling call on Zach Tiemann. He lost control of the ball. It rolled down his back. He turned around and caught it, but he'd already taken a couple steps. That's a travel. Ensminger with it from the right wing. Gets it back out between the circles to Sikora. Sikora feeds it into the lane to Lenz, but it got knocked loose, and the Cardinals come away with it. Down the floor comes Tiemann. Feeds it to Hansen on the right baseline. And Hansen stepped out of bounds, or do we have a foul?
Medine.
Foul's on Mitch Medine. It's his first. That's the 4th team foul on the Vikings. Cardinals inbound it. Sutton with it. Hits it across to the left side. Tiemann with a three-pointer on the way. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Rosemeyer. Gets it over to Sutton between the circles. Over to the left side. Tries to feed it in the lane. Gets knocked back out. Tiemann has it. Cross-court pass over to Rosemeyer. On the right side, tries to drive it in. Puts it up, and it's good. And we have a timeout being called by the Vikings. Thorp Cardinals 11, Vikings 4, 13:20 to go, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380. Back here at Thorp High School, Thorp Cardinals leading the Vikings 11-4, 13:20 to go in the first half. Vikings have the ball. Sikora with it in the backcourt. Feeds it up to Ensminger on the right side, back to Sikora between the circles. Sikora takes it around to the right side, down to Ensminger in the right corner, drives the baseline, lays it up, puts it in. Ensminger with the reverse layup. 11-6. And down the floor come the Cardinals. Tiemann with it. Feeds it over to Sutton at the top of the key. Back to Tiemann on the right side. And they get it over to Rosemeyer. Puts up the three. Rattles around and goes in. 14-6. And down the floor come the Vikings. Sikora gets it out to Medine. Puts up the three. No good. Rebound tipped around, and coming away with it is Tiemann. For the Cardinals, down the floor he comes, gets it over into the right corner, back out to Tiemann, high, wide, and right. To Sutton between the circles, over to the left side, to Rather, back to Sutton. To Tiemann, jump shot, no good. Sutton with the rebound. Gets it out to Rosemeyer, puts up the three, no good. Rebound by Rather, lays it up and in. They got 3 shots at it. 16-6, Vikings down by 10. Medine out to Sikora, ball got tipped away, and here come the Cardinals. Long pass down to Rosemeyer. He circles and kicks it back out again to Rather. Now they get it over to the left side to Hansen, to Sutton, out to Tiemann. Teaming at the top of the key. Over to Hansen on the left baseline. Drives the baseline, then passes it. We're going to get a foul underneath. It's going to be on the Vikings. That's another foul on Mitch Medine. That's his, I think that's his second.
That is his second.
Oh, there it is. Now they have it up there. It's a 5th foul on the Vikings. Ball comes into Sutton. Takes it to the left elbow, drives it down the paint, puts it up no good. Jensen with the rebound. He feeds it to Albright. Tries to feed it underneath, and the ball got intercepted by Tiemann. Tiemann over to Rather. Rather on the dribble across the timeline. Back over to Tiemann, then down into the right corner to Rosemeyer. Back out high to Sutton at the top of the key. Over to Rosemeyer, puts up the 3, and he hit it. They're on fire from 3, 19-6. They get it to Jensen in the lane, feeds it underneath to Hajdukovic, puts it up, it doesn't go. And the Cardinals come down the floor, they feed it over to the right side, now back over to the left to Sutton. To Rather, back out to Sutton, to Tiemann, to Rosemeyer on the right. Over to the left to Sutton. Down into the left corner to Tiemann. Then down underneath it to Hansen. Missed the layup but got the rebound. Got it out to Sutton. Then to Rather. Rather feeds it to Sutton in the paint. Puts it up and it goes in. 21-6. Sikora gets it over to Hajdukovic from the free throw line, puts a shot up, and it's out of bounds.
You know, Colfax, they look like they're in panic mode right now. They just got to slow down.
And we have a timeout on the floor. It's Thorp 21, Vikings 6. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If you have a high-deductible health plan, opening a health savings account at Dairy State Bank will allow you to save tax-free dollars to pay for a long list of health-related services allowed by the IRS. Dairy State Bank HSAs are serviced locally and work like a regular checking account. You can use a debit card or check to pay for expenses and access your account through online or mobile banking. Visit DairyStateBank.com to learn more about HSAs and online or mobile banking. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
And we're back here at Thorp High School. Thorp Cardinals have opened up a 21-6 lead over the Vikings. Thorp will have the ball out of bounds. Tiemann inbounds it to Rosemeyer. Back to Tiemann across the timeline. Down to Sutton on the right side. Takes it to the right baseline. Kicks it back out to Tiemann, high, wide, and right. Over to Sutton on the right wing. To Rosemeyer in the right corner, back out to Sutton. Now over to Rather on the left side. Back over to Rosemeyer, he's on the left elbow, gets it to Rather. Then Tiemann from 3, he hit the three-pointer. Dan, if you get a minute, count up the number of threes they have.
They have 5 threes.
That's 15 of their points right there. Vikings have it on the left side. Albright gets it out to Sikora between the circles. Sikora feeds it over to Ensminger, back out to Sikora. Over to Albright. To Sikora, then to Jensen, puts the shot up, he hit it. Nick Jensen with a shot from the paint. 24-8. Vikings have some coming back to do. Into the lane and laying it up and in is Rosemeyer. Here comes Sikora, and we're going to get a foul called on the Cardinals. And it's going to be a foul on Sutton. I do believe it's his first personal. That's only the first foul on the Cardinals. Long pass out to Ensminger. Gets it over to Sikora. High, wide, and right. Gets over to Ensminger on the right wing. To Lenz. He takes it into the paint, turns, puts the shot up, and it's good.
Good work by Tristan Lenz.
Vikings putting on full court press. Sutton with the dribble. Vikings come away with it, force the turnover, and Sminger into the lane, puts a shot up, it goes in. 25-12, Vikings trying to scrap their way back in. Rosemeyer with it, feeds it down to Rather. On the left side, gets it back out to Tiemann. Then over to Sutton, and Rosemeyer lost the handle on the ball. Vikings pick it up. Sikora with it, takes it into the paint, then out to Albright. Three-pointer on the way, off the iron, no good. Ensminger with the rebound on the right baseline. He dribbled it on the baseline. Ensminger can't believe he got called for that.
Yeah, he was looking for a foul on Sutton for a push.
Checking into the lineup for the Vikings is Kyle Irwin, as Ensminger takes a bit of a break. Tiemann with it. Lost the handle, but picks it back up. Gets it over to Rosemeyer across the timeline, down into the right corner. Now back out to Tiemann at the top of the key. Takes it into the paint. Gets it out to Rather from the right corner. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Lenz with the rebound. Here come the Vikings. Sikora gets it over to Albright, to Lenz, tries to feed it underneath. We're going to get a whistle and a foul underneath. Foul's on Rather. It's his first, second team foul. And the Vikings will inbound. Sikora to toss it in. Tries to get it into Hajdukovic, who finally gets the handle on it. Now he's tied up. Gets it out to Sikora. Sikora with the jump shot, puts it up, rattles it off the glass and in. 25-14, Vikings cut it to 11. Down the floor come the Cardinals. They get it back out to Stewart, who is checked in. And over to Rosemeyer. To Rather. Rather turns around and he walked with it.
Colfax on a little run right now.
Sikora on the dribble in the backcourt. Also in the lineup now for Thorp is Jesse Windle as well. Sikora has it between the circles, feeds it into the lane to Lenz, puts up the shot, and it goes in. 26-16. Cardinals have it in the backcourt. They get it over to Rosemeyer, coming down the left side. Feeds it back out between the circles. That's to Windle. Now they get it over to the right side. Three-pointer launched. No good. That was by Tiemann, and we're going to get a foul. And the foul is going to be on Brady Stewart. It's his first personal, third team foul on the Thorp Cardinals. Cardinals out of the Clover Belt West Conference. Of course, the Vikings from the Dun St. Croix. Albright feeds it over to the left side, and we're going to get a whistle and a 3-second violation being called on the Vikings. Len's a little surprised.
Yeah, you don't get that call very often.
Ball comes into Tiemann. Now to Rosemeyer, still in the backcourt. They feed it back into the middle to Windle, and we're going to get a whistle
10 seconds.
Offensive foul?
No, 10 second.
Oh, 10-second violation. Sikora with it for the Vikings across the timeline. Feeds it out between the circles to Hajdukovic. Takes it into the paint, loses the handle as he tried to go in the paint. And coming away with it are the Cardinals. This is Tiemann down the right side. Gets it back out to Rosemeyer.
Travel.
And he traveled with that. He picked up the dribble before he went in the air, and then he came down without putting the ball back down. And we're going to get a timeout on the floor being called by the Cardinals. It's 26-16, Cardinals on top. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
We're back here at Thorp High School. 5:14 to go in the first half. Vikings trailing 26-16. And they have the ball. Hajdukovic gets into Sikora, who brings it down through the center circle across the timeline, into the paint, puts up the jumper. It's no good, off the front of the iron. And the Cardinals come away with it. Rosemeyer on the dribble across the timeline. Feeds it over to Tiemann on the right side. Then out to Rather. Back out to Tiemann. Back over to Rather on the right wing. Gets it out to Rosemeyer between the circles. Rosemeyer directing traffic. Over to Rather. Then out to Tiemann. Ball got knocked loose. And they're going to call an over and back. I'll be honest with you, Dan. I think they have a right to complain here in Thorp because the ball got knocked out of the hands by the Vikings.
Right, yeah. They saw it off his leg, but I think it was off Colfax first.
Yeah, when the ball got knocked out, then Thorp no longer had control. And even though it bounced off the guy's leg, it still should have been a free ball in the backcourt. But Vikings will take it. You need a break every once in a while. Hajdukovic with it in the paint. Spins. Puts it up. No, it doesn't go. Rebound taken down by Rather. Cardinals come across the line. Ball gets knocked loose. And we're going to get a foul being called on.
Could be Jesse Wendell, I would guess.
I think it's on Brady Stewart.
Oh.
Yeah, foul's on Brady Stewart. It's his second personal, fourth team foul. So Sikora takes it over to the left side. He's on the left wing. Comes back out to the top of the key. Feeds it into the paint to Lenz. Lenz puts it up, but he got fouled going up. Tristan Lenz to go to the line for two with 4 minutes. Foul is on Tiemann, by the way. It's his first personal, fifth team foul. First shot by Lenz off the front of the iron, no good. Little bit soft.
Yeah, I think Colfax looks a little flat tonight. Short shots.
Second shot on the way. That's off the iron, no good. Long pass down the floor. Shot goes up. It's no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. They hit Sutton with a long pass, but then he missed on cashing it in. Vikings put up a shot and a rebound taken down by Tiemann. And down the floor come the Cardinals. They get it out to Stewart. Now they swing it around to the left side to Sutton. Sutton gets it out to Rather. And over into the paint. That was to Hughes, and the ball got intercepted. Laying it up and in for the Vikings is Nathan Hajdukovic. 26-18. Vikings cut it to 8. Cardinals come down the floor. Hughes on the dribble. Or check that, that's Tiemann on the dribble. Gets it over to Stewart. Down into the corner to Rather. Three-pointer, no good. Albright with the rebound for the Vikings. Down the floor comes Sikora in the paint. Kicks it out to Irwin. Irwin back out to Sikora. Three-pointer. We get a whistle. No shot. What do we have?
Something away from the ball. Not for sure. 3 seconds maybe? They didn't call a foul.
He did not call a foul. Must have been a 3-second violation. You know, different officiating crews have their calls that they, and this crew evidently likes to call that 3-second shot. Down the floor comes Brady Stewart. He's on the left side, tries the left baseline, goes up with it, and we're going to get a foul called on Jensen.
That's a tough one. Oh,
no, check it. It's on Irwin from behind. I thought it was Jensen, and I thought Jensen would have been complaining a little more vociferously. Stewart at the line for 2, makes his first one. 27-18. Second shot is off the iron, no good, out of bounds, last touch by the Vikings.
Colfax, just a little flat tonight.
Yeah, they're not looking the ball into their hands. Ball comes out to Sutton, shot goes up, no good. Rebound taken down. Albright has it. He gets it to Sikora, quickly down the floor to Hajdukovic on the right side. Hajdukovic gets it over to Sikora, high, wide, and right to Albright. Over to Irwin, to Jensen on the left baseline. He tried to go up, we're going to get a whistle and foul. No, they're going to call jump ball. Jump ball, possession arrow in favor of the Vikings. They get it into Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic feeds it over to Albright. Then out between the circles to Irwin. Irwin over to Sikora on the left wing. Back out to Irwin. Back to Sikora. Cross-court pass over to Albright. To Irwin. Takes it to the top of the key. To Sikora on the left side. To Irwin, high, wide, and left. Back out to Sikora between the circles.
Colfax
Minute 55.
Colfax has to be a little faster on their passes to break this 2-3 zone by Thorp.
They feed it underneath to Jensen, lays it up and in. Sikora saw Nick Jensen, led him toward the hole, and Jensen grabbed it and put it in. Rather with it across the timeline. Over to the left side. Stewart puts up the 3. He hit the 3-pointer. 30-20. Vikings have it. Over to Irwin. Cross-court pass over to the left side to Sikora. Sikora got the ball knocked loose, and now we get a whistle and a foul being called on Brady Stewart.
That'll be his third.
I think that's 3.
Yeah.
Ensminger into the lineup. As Kyle Irwin takes a seat.
We're in bonus, I do believe. No? Nope. One more.
Yeah, that's only foul number 6 against Thorp. Vikings have 7 on them. Albright inbounds to Sikora across the timeline. Back over to Albright on the left side. Back out to Sikora into the paint. Hajdukovic with it. Thought about the jumper. Gets it out to Albright. Puts up the 3. It's no good. And we're going to get a foul on Jensen on the rebound.
Yeah, I'm not for sure what Hajdukovic was waiting for there. He was wide open in the paint. He gave up the shot.
So that'll be the first foul on Nick Jensen. 1 minute even to go in the first half. Sean Hughes at the line. First shot is up. It's no good. Rebound being fought for on the floor. Vikings come away with it. Hajdukovic across the timeline. Feeds it down to the right corner to Ensminger. Thought about the 3. Drives the right baseline. Puts it up and got it in. Elijah Ensminger with the 2.
He's got
45 seconds left in the half. Rosemeyer feeds it across the timeline to Sutton. He's on the left side. Over to the right side to Rosemeyer. To Rather on the left. Back to Rosemeyer, top of the key. Out to Sutton in the left corner. To Rather. He's standing at the top of the key. Pass behind the intended guy, but Rosemeyer was there. Shot goes up and it rolls in by Sean Hughes. 32-22, Vikings with it. 5 seconds to go in the half. Hajdukovic launches the three. It's no good. Tip back up. And again, but nothing counts. And we've reached halftime. It's the Thorp Cardinals 32, Vikings 22. We've got Viking halftime coming up, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Time now for Viking Halftime with this week's edition of Viking Profile and the Colfax High School Report. That's all coming up following this brief timeout.
Brandon met a girl on a dating app. He finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving.
She must be a keeper.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know Austin Swanson, who is a senior here at Colfax High School. Austin, we know you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities here at school?
Oh, yeah, I play football, and then I play baseball in the spring.
Okay, and when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of an experience have you had?
This is my first year playing basketball since 4th grade, and just a little bit that I've been here, I know that it's really a team sport, and people need to be having each other's backs at all times for it to be able to work.
So that's pretty much the most important thing you've learned, too.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, and so that's all that part of that communication thing. And so when you're not playing basketball, you're not here at school, what are some other things that keep you interested and keep you occupied?
Well, I do work at Cenex and Colfax. I like to hang out with my friends a lot, my family. Just spending time with them is the most important thing to me.
All right, very important question for you here. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Ice cream.
Favorite flavor?
Chocolate.
Okay. Favorite color?
Blue.
Is there a reason?
I like blue.
You like blue. That's a good reason. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Probably super strength.
Okay, super strength. Any particular reason?
It's fun being strong.
Okay. Fortune favors the brave and the strong and all that, yeah. All right. So with a superpower like that, of course you have to have a superhero name. What's Austin's superhero name?
Probably King Austin.
King Austin. Yep. Okay. Yep. All right. Your favorite NBA team?
The Bucks.
All right. And favorite collegiate team?
The Badgers.
All right, we're talking with Austin Swanson on Viking Profile. And Austin, what are your plans for after high school?
Go to college, obviously. I don't know really what to do yet, but we'll figure it out.
You've got plenty of time. You'll probably change your mind 3 times in college, too.
Of course.
Of course, yeah. How about a shout-out to the family?
All right, shout out Mom, Chris, Bella, Gavin, Noah, Alex. I think that's all of them.
If it isn't, somebody's going to let you know.
They're going to get mad at me.
Okay. And when people watch Viking games, where are they going to find you on the floor?
Probably at the 5, the center position. I am tall. I have the height for it.
Yeah. Trust me, you are.
Yeah.
My arm is falling asleep holding the microphone up there. All right. We want to thank Austin Swanson for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next, more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is him. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that he's a good person. It's okay to make mistakes. As long as it's coming from love, it starts to work itself out.
Time now for the Colfax High School Report with an update about what's happening at Colfax High School.
The Colfax Vikings athletics once again had a busy week last week. The Bloomer Colfax Raptors wrestling team competed in the Clover Belt Wrestling Tournament last Saturday, where they picked up 1 championship, 2 second-place finishes, a third, a fourth, two fifth-place finishes and a sixth. The Raptors had 3 wrestlers in championship matches. At 145 pounds, Alex Poyer was pinned in the championship match by Abbotsford Colby wrestler Tanner Halupka in 5 minutes and 55 seconds. Meanwhile, at 152 pounds, Luke Blanchard finished second after dropping an 8-3 decision to Tristan Dreyer of Cadott. Then at 160 pounds, Raptor Bowen Rothbauer captured a Clover Belt Conference championship by defeating Cole Pfeiffer of Cadott. The Viking boys picked up a win and 2 losses in their 3 games last week. On Monday, the 31st, the Vikings defeated Prairie Farm in a tough physical game, 68-62. Then on Tuesday, February 1st, the boys were defeated by Mondovi, 70-44. And then on Friday the 4th, the Vikings just couldn't quite dig out of an early hole that they found themselves in as they lost to the Durand Panthers, 57-49. At the end of the week, those games left the Vikings with an overall record of 7 wins and 9 losses, 3-6 in the Dunn St. Croix Conference. The Viking girls also had 3 games last week, resulting in 3 wins. On Monday, January 31st, they defeated the Prairie Farm Panthers 62-54. Then on Tuesday the 1st, the Viking girls defeated the Altoona Railroaders 65-49. On Thursday the 3rd, the Viking girls wrapped up their week by trouncing the Boyceville Bulldogs 56-12. Those games leave the Vikings with an overall record of 18-2 and 9-1 in the Dunn St. Croix Conference. With another COVID makeup game this week proves to be another busy schedule for Viking basketball teams with 5 games total. On Monday, the Viking boys will travel to Thorp to make up a game with the Cardinals that was postponed back on December 3rd. Then on Thursday, the boys will host the Boyceville Bulldogs. And finally, the boys will wrap up their week on Saturday when they play host to the Osceola Chieftains. We are carrying all 3 games live on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. The Viking girls are scheduled for 2 games this week. On Tuesday, the Lady Vikings will travel to Spring Valley to take on the Spring Valley Cardinals. Then on Friday, the girls will do battle for first place in the Dunn St. Croix Conference when they host the Elk Mound Mounders. We are carrying both those games live on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. On Saturday, the Bloomer Colfax Raptors will travel to Neillsville to take part in the WIAA Regional Wrestling Tournament. Now, coming up next week, any Bloomer Colfax Raptors who qualify will travel to Amory for the WIAA Sectional Tournament to try to qualify for a trip to the WIAA State Tournament in Madison. The Viking boys basketball team will have 3 games next week. On Tuesday the 15th, the boys will travel to Spring Valley to take on the Cardinals. Then on Thursday the 17th, the boys will host those same Cardinals in a makeup game that was originally scheduled for January 13th. That game will be part of a boys then girls doubleheader. Then on Friday, the 18th, the boys will travel to Elk Mound to take on the Elk Mound Mounders. We will carry all 3 of those games live on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. The Viking girls are scheduled for 2 games next week. On Monday the 14th, they will travel to Elmwood to make up their game with the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, which was originally scheduled for January 14th. Then on Thursday the 17th, the girls will host those same Wolves, and that will be part 2 of that boy-girl doubleheader, and we will carry those games on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. In other school news, parent-teacher conferences are coming up on Monday and Tuesday of next week, so it's not too early to plan to find some time to attend your child's parent-teacher conference. And that's what's happening at Colfax High School for the week of February 6th through the 12th.
You've been tuned to the Colfax High School Report with an update about what's happening at Colfax High School. Stay tuned. Coming up next is more Viking halftime and then second half action.
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
And we're back here at Thorp High School. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow and Chris Olson on the camera, getting ready to start half number 2. Vikings trailing by 10. In today's junior varsity game, the Vikings came away victorious there, 63-42. And the varsity's going to have to work a little bit to duplicate that effort. Thorp to inbound to start the second half. They get the ball into Hansen and then out to Rosemeyer between the circles. Over to Sutton on the left wing. Comes back out between the circles. Over to Tiemann, then down into the right corner to Rosemeyer, feeds it into the lane. Sutton picks it up. Rather with it in the paint, puts up the jumper. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Lenz, and we get a whistle. It's going to be a foul on Rather, who kind of got his arm hung up there in Lenz. That's a second foul on Rather. First team foul on the Cardinals in the second half. Albright with it at the top of the key, gets it over to the right side. Then they feed it into the lane to Hajdukovic. Turnaround jumper. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Tiemann. Tiemann on the dribble, cross the timeline. Get it out to Rosemeyer, over to Hansen, to Rather at the top of the key, to Tiemann on the left wing. Back out to Hansen at the top of the key. To Sutton on the left side. Out to Rather, over to Tiemann, to Rosemeyer. Takes it down the left side, spins into the paint, puts the shot up, it's no good. Rebound, saved in bounds, but picked up by the Cardinals. Rosemeyer with it. He's going up with it, and he's going to the line for 2 as we get a foul called on Ensminger.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Coach Noel kind of is.
And they're going to say that Rosemeyer was shooting, although Coach Noel doesn't agree with that. Shot goes up, it's no good. Second shot on the way. That one's good. 33-22. Vikings bring the ball down the floor. Sikora with it, takes it over to the right side. Gets it to Albright, over to the left side to Ensminger. Thought about the 3, takes it to the paint, puts it up, and they're going to get him with a travel. I'm surprised at that call. You can't travel while you dribble. He never stopped dribbling. And we have evidently some blood. For Tiemann. They'll have to take care of that. So checking in is Sean Hughes for the Cardinals. And down the floor they bring the ball. Hansen gets it down to Hughes, over to Rather on the left side. He dribbles it back out high. Over to Rosemeyer, left baseline, drives in, puts up the shot, it's no good. Hajdukovic comes away with it down the floor. Feeds it over to the right side, shot goes up, no good. And we're gonna get a jump ball called. It's gonna be Viking ball. Inbound pass comes out to Albright, to Lenz at the side of the lane. Spins, puts up a shot, and it's good. 33-24, Vikings cut it to 9.
Tough shot by Lenz.
And the ball's out of bounds. Sutton couldn't find the handle of it, and it'll be Viking ball. 15-52. Hajdukovic to inbound. Gets it to Sikora. Sikora takes it out between the circles, over to the right side. Gets it out to Albright. To Ensminger on the left. Ensminger feeds it into the paint to Hajdukovic. Back out to Ensminger. Puts up the three. He hit the three! Elijah Ensminger with a three-pointer. Cuts it to 6. And the Vikings steal the pass. Sikora with it. And it goes off the leg of Lenz and out of bounds. I think Sikora was trying to get it over to Hajdukovic. Lenz cut through and it rolled off his leg and out of bounds. Cardinals inbound it. Ball gets picked off by Albright. Over to Hajdukovic. To Ensminger into the paint. Jump shot is up. No good. Rebound tipped up. Lenz gets it. Puts it up and in. Vikings cut it to 4. 33-29. Here come the Cardinals. Hansen with it into the paint, puts the shot up, it's no good. Lenz pulls down the rebound, and the Vikings coming back down the floor looking to cut it to 2. It's Sikora going up, and we got a whistle and a foul. He's going to go to the line for 2.
Rosenmeyer with the foul.
That's his first, second team foul. Vikings showing a little life this half. Sikora's first shot rolls around and in. Hit the front of the rim, hit the back of the rim, and then hit none of the rim as it went down through the net. 33-30. Shot goes up, it's off the air, no good. Rebound taken down by Hajdukovic. He's in the left corner, gets it out to Ensminger on the left wing. Takes it out between the circles, gets it over to Sikora, high, wide, and right. He's directing traffic. Takes it over to the right side, now out to Hajdukovic, to Albright, to Ensminger in the left corner. Ensminger back out to Albright, over to Hajdukovic. Free throw line in the paint, ball got tipped around, last touch by Hajdukovic.
Colfax has to be a little quicker on their passes. Try to get it inside the lens.
So the Cardinals have it. Coming down the floor is Wendell. Feeding it over to the left side to Rather. Back to Wendell. Near the left elbow. Over onto the left wing now to Hansen. Hansen with a bounce pass out to Sutton, and we're going to get a foul called on Ensminger.
That'll be his third.
Second team foul on the Vikings. Wendell to inbound. Gets it into Rather. Back out to Wendell on the left side. To Sutton between the circles over to the right side. To Hansen. To Rather. To Wendell. Back out high. And this is Sutton with it. Over to Hansen. Down to the baseline. That's Hughes. Ball gets put up and in. That was Rather with the layup. 35-30. Our answer shot is no good, and Sutton brings the ball down the floor. Rather with it at the top of the key. Gets it over to Sutton on the right side. Back out high to Hansen. Wendell has it in the left corner, or right corner. Down to the right baseline. Now they get it back out. Sutton's got it at the top of the key. Feeds it over to Wendell. Into the paint to Rather. Turns around. Gets it back out to Sutton. Feeds it over to Hansen on the left side. Cross-court pass over to Rather. He put it up. No good. Rebound taken away by the Vikings. Down the floor. Ensminger tries to put the shot up. It's no good. Ensminger went down hard. He's going to go to the line for 2.
Also be on number 10, I do believe.
It is on Logan Hansen. It's his first personal, third team foul. First shot is up. It's no good. This is one of the things Coach Noel was talking about in Coach's Corner. Got to make those free throws. And Sminger's second shot on the way. That one's good. Vikings trail by 4. Sutton to inbound the ball. He gets it into Wendell. Wendell back to Sutton, still in the backcourt. Vikings putting on some pressure. He takes it into the forecourt, down into the right corner. Pass along the baseline is intercepted by the Vikings. Irwin with the interception. They try to get it to Lenz. He finds the handle, turns, and they're going to call him for travel.
Wanted to make his moves, and Sean Hughes was right there. Cause travel.
So the Cardinals have it. Sutton with it in the backcourt. Feeds it up to Wendell across the timeline on the left side. Gets it over to the right to Rather. Back out to Sutton. Swings it over to Hanson. Back out to Sutton. Sutton over to Wendell on the right. To Hanson now between the circles. To Rather on the right. To Sutton from the left side. Puts up a three. No good. Rebound taken down by Albright. And the Vikings come down the floor. They feed it to Albright. Takes it into the paint. Puts up the shot. It's good. 35-33. Vikings cut it to 2. 11:53 to go in the game. This is Rather with it. They get it to Wendell. On the right side, he drives into the paint. Gets it out to Hughes. Then to Rather. To Sutton over onto the left side now. This is Wendell. Wendell drives to the paint. Feeds it out to Sutton. To Rather on the right side. To Wendell in the paint. Tries to go up, but he's blocked. To Rather. Looking for a shot. Gets it to Sutton. Drives into the lane. We're going to get a blocking foul being called on the Vikings. Foul's on Albright. That's his second personal. Third team foul on the Vikings. Cardinals have it on the right side. Rather with it. Out to Sutton. Down to the left baseline to Hanson. They swing it back out to Sutton. Over onto the right side to Rather. Rather takes it back out to the top of the key, and his pass is intercepted by the Vikings. And Sminger lays it up, and we are now tied, 35-35. First tie since the opening of the game. Hanson with it. Out to Rather, three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound. Taken away by Wendell. Circles into the paint. Turns, puts up the shot. He got fouled on the way up. Foul's going to be on Irwin.
It's his second.
That'll be the fourth team foul on the Vikings. And Wendell's at the line to shoot 2. First shot's on the way. It's no good. Nick Jensen into the lineup for the Vikings. Going to give Tristan Lenz a break. Wendell at the line for his second shot. It's on the way, and it's also no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Sikora with it. Takes it down the floor, across the timeline into the paint. Oh, tried to get a pass off, and it rolled off his fingers and right into the hands of Jesse Wendell. Wendell across the timeline at the top of the key, over to Sutton on the right side, then down to Hanson, back out to Rather at the top. Over to Hanson on the right. To Wendell at the top of the key, three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound being chased down by Jensen, and it's knocked out of bounds. And I think Jensen was the last one to touch it.
No.
It went off of Thorp. We were kind of screened. It was hard to tell. And the referee with much better position than us said, nope, it went off of Thorp. So it'll be the Vikings' ball. Sikora with it. He comes across the timeline. High, wide, and right. Gets it over to Albright, over to the left side to Ensminger. Back out to Albright, to Sikora. Sikora feeds it down to the right baseline. Back out to Sikora. Pass over to Ensminger. Got tipped out of bounds. Was tipped out of bounds by Hansen. Rosemeyer back into the lineup for Thorpe. Ensminger has the ball on the left side. Ball got tipped by the Cardinals. Tipped by Hansen, not out of bounds. Vikings will still have it on the baseline. Inbound it to Jensen. Takes it into the paint, puts up the shot. It's off the back of the yard, no good. Rebound, and we have a jump ball called. Possession arrow in favor of the Cardinals. Checking in for the Cardinals is Brady Stewart as Sean Hughes takes a break. And for the Vikings, Mitch Medine checks in for Ryan Albright. Cardinals inbound it. Sutton on the dribble. Now he dribbles in the backcourt. Takes it across the timeline down the right side. Feeds it into the paint. And then there's over to...
I think it was 12.
He wouldn't turn toward it. It was Brady Stewart who made the shot. Vikings have it out near the center circle. Sikora with it. Gets it over to Medine on the right. Back out to Sikora. Back to Medine. Medine to Sikora in the right corner. Feeds it to Jensen in the lane to Hajdukovic on the baseline. He puts it up and in. We're tied again at 37.
Patience. That's what gets Colfax points.
Rosemeyer on the dribble for the Cardinals. Takes it into the paint himself. Feeds it off. Shot goes up. No good. Jensen with the rebound, but it got knocked away, and the Cardinals come away with it. Rosemeyer with it. He's on the right side. Turns. Feeds it into the paint. Shot goes up. It's no good. Hajdukovic with it. That one got knocked out of Hajdukovic's hands and out of bounds. It'll be Vikings ball.
Colfax does a lot better when they slow it down, take their time, find each other.
But they need quick, crisp passes to be able to make that work. They got to make sure there isn't an arm in the way. Ensminger with a three. He hit the three, and the Vikings have taken the lead, 40-37. 8:07 is when they took the lead. Remember that time, Dan. Cardinals swing it over to the right side now between the circles. To Hansen on the left. To Rather at the top of the key. Rather feeds it over to Rosemeyer. Now to Sutton. To Hansen on the left. Cross-court pass over to Rosemeyer. Tries to take it in the lane. Ball gets taken away by Hajdukovic. Feeds it over to Ensminger. He goes up with a shot. It's no good. Rebound taken away by Medine. Over to Jensen. Into the paint. Puts a shot up and in.
Nick Jensen
Vikings
8 points.
Up by 5 and a timeout being called by the Cardinals. 7:22 to go. Vikings 42, Cardinals 37. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
On those days when you're hankering for something that's delicious and nutritious, simply stop by FitFam Nutrition in Colfax. They serve Herbalife meal replacement shakes, metabolism-boosting teas and protein coffees. They taste as good as they sound, and they're healthy. Come and visit the Bentons and let them prepare for you a simply sweet treat, or something for the chocoholic or coffee lover in you. FitFem is a slam dunk. That's FitFem Nutrition, complete with one-on-one wellness coaching and business opportunities. 1020 University Avenue in Colfax.
And we're back here at Thorp High School. Vikings have taken the 42-37 lead. 7:22 to go in, dare we say, regulation time?
Right.
Thorp Cardinals to inbound. This is going to be Sutton. He gets it into Rather. Vikings putting on full court pressure. Back to Sutton. Feeds it up to Rosemeyer on the right side. Takes it into the paint. He's spinning, puts it up, and it's good. 42-39. And they're going to get a blocking foul being called on Sutton, I believe.
That should be his second.
Oh, check that. It's not on him. It's on Rosemeyer.
Oh.
It's his second. Sikora with the ball. Across the timeline. Feeds it down to Ensminger on the right wing. Ensminger taking it back out high on the right side. Now to the elbow. Spins in the lane. Puts it up. And they called him for travel.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, and I think Ensminger is very confused by that too. He never stops his dribble. You cannot travel while you're dribbling. Ball gets, they're saying it got kicked away by Ensminger. Vikings putting on some full court pressure. It is causing the Cardinals some trouble. Rosemeyer with it, takes it himself down across the timeline, into the paint, feeds it down to the baseline. It gets knocked out of bounds, and it'll be Cardinal ball. Rather to inbound it for Thorpe. They feed it over to the left side. They get it out to Stewart, then to Rosemeyer, to Sutton, to Hansen, over to Stewart, to Rosemeyer in the right corner. Tries to feed it into the paint, gets knocked out of bounds. It was knocked out of bounds by Ensminger, so it'll be Thorpe ball.
Colfax has to be aware of this inbound.
And they feed it in right away to Rosemeyer. Rosemeyer out to Sutton, left alone from three. He missed it, and the Vikings have it. Down the floor comes Hajdukovic. Gets it over to Sikora. Sikora on the dribble, in the paint, tries to get it over to Nelson. It was tipped. Tipped by Hansen and out of bounds, which is why they didn't make the connection to Jensen. Medine to inbound for the Vikings. He gets it into Jensen. Jensen feeds it out to Ensminger. Ensminger out high, wide, and left. Now takes it to the top of the key, launches a three. It's off the front of the iron, no good. Rebound tipped around, Rosemeyer has it. He takes it on across the timeline on the left side. Now they swing it around to the right side to Hansen. Back out to Rosemeyer between the circles. Over to Rather. Now they've got it over on the left side to Rosemeyer along the baseline. Tries to put it up. It's blocked. Out of bounds.
Good defense.
And that could have been any one of three Vikings that got that block. There were three different sets of hands up there.
Yeah, good job by Colfax defense to collapse and shut that play off.
Rosemeyer to inbound for the Cardinals. Gets it into Sutton on the right side. Feeds it out high. That's Stewart. Now they get it out to Rosemeyer. Three-pointer, he hit the three-pointer. And we're tied at 42. 5:15 to go. Vikings across the timeline. Sikora with it. Takes it into the paint. And we're going to get a tripping foul on Stewart. And that's his fourth. With 5:07 to go. Vikings inbound it. Sikora with it. Feeds it over to Albright. Feeds it underneath to Hajdukovic. Puts up the shot, no good. Rosemeyer with the rebound. Brings it down the floor. Feeds it over to the left side. Shot goes up and in. Stewart with the shot. Cardinals back on top, 44-42. Sikora tries to feed it down to Lenz, but overshot him a little bit, and we get a timeout on the floor with 4:43 to go. Cardinals on top, 44-42. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining? Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Dr. Bruce Buckley and his staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380.
Deductible health plan. Opening a health savings account at Dairy State Bank will allow you to save tax-free dollars to pay for a long list of health-related services allowed by the IRS. Dairy State Bank HSAs are serviced locally and work like a regular checking account. You can use a debit card or check to pay for expenses and access your account through online or mobile banking. Visit DairyStateBank.com to learn more about HSAs and online or mobile banking. Dairy State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
And we're back here at Thorp High School. Cardinals leading the Vikings 44-42 in what has turned into being a barn burner after the Cardinals had a big lead in the first half. Vikings have stormed their way back, had a lead of 5 just a little bit ago. Now the Cardinals have taken a lead. They get the ball inbounded to Hansen, takes it across the timeline. Back out to Rather at the top of the key. Over to Rosemeyer. He dribbles over to the top of the key. Feeds into the paint to Hansen, who puts it up and in. And the Vikings have it. Bring it down the floor, trailing by 4. 46-42. Sikora with it, high, wide, and right. Gets it over to Hajdukovic. Now over to Albright. Ensminger with the 3. It's no good. Lenz with the rebound. And we're going to get Lenz called with a foul.
Yeah. He's got a big, tall reach, but...
This is an example of the same thing that in that article I read about 25 most misunderstood basketball rules. Don't foul a guy for being tall. Down the floor come the Cardinals. Shot goes up, no good. Rather with a second chance, and he puts it in. Cardinals back up by 6, 48-42, 3:53 to go. Vikings get it out between the circles. Sikora on the dribble, takes it over to the right side. Shot goes up, no good. 3-pointer by Ensminger, rebound taken down by Sutton. Rosemeyer with it. Gets it out between the circles to Sutton. Over to Stewart. Stewart out to Rather. Rather over to Hansen on the left side. Hansen on the dribble, gets it out to Sutton on the right. Out onto Rosemeyer on the right wing. Tries to feed it to the baseline, gets knocked out of bounds, and it's off of Hajdukovic. Jensen checks in, Lenz comes out. Rather inbounds it to Rosemeyer. Rosemeyer with a 3-pointer on the way. It's no good. Rebound chased down by Ensminger. Down the floor he comes. Quickly down the right side. Spins, goes into the lane. And they got him for travel. And Coach Knoll did not like that call either. And I have to agree with him. He never stops his dribble. And we have a timeout being called. Timeout on the floor. Cardinals leading the Vikings 48-42. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Simplify your life. Pleasant Valley Properties provides affordable housing and homes in communities in Wisconsin, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska. They have staff available to help you locate the home that best meets your needs and desires, as well as service staff that maintains the properties. Contact Pleasant Valley Properties at 715-226-6200. Call today and let them help you get into the home of your dreams. That's Pleasant Valley Properties, 301 Grammar Avenue in Colfax.
When you've checked that hayfield and find it's time to harvest, give a call to Aaron's Custom Baling. Aaron will provide you with 4x5 net-wrapped round bales. He can even give your bales that spruced up look with select custom netting if you'd like. Serving Western Wisconsin, that's Aaron's Custom Baling. Call 715-202-0118.
48-42. Thorp Cardinals lead the Vikings with 3:04 remaining. Cardinals will have the ball out of bounds. Vikings putting pressure on full court. They've got everybody matched up with. They get the ball into Rosemeyer. Try to put a trap on. He swings it back to Rather. Got it across the timeline. At the top of the key, feeds it over to the left side to Stewart. Over to Rosemeyer on the right. Now over to Hansen. On the right side to Stewart, swinging around the left side to Rosemeyer. Back out to Rather at the top of the key. Thorp very content to run the clock, and they try to pass it to Stewart, but it's a little bit high out of bounds. It'll be the Vikings' ball. No need to panic yet by the Vikings. They don't have to force threes. And we have an official's timeout as one of the volleyball pockets, the pockets that hold the volleyball net popped up. That's taken care of, and the Vikings have the ball. Sikora across the timeline to Ensminger on the right side. Back out to Sikora, to Albright. To Sikora. Back to Albright. Tries to feed it underneath to Hajdukovic, and they just mistimed the pass slightly, and it's out of bounds. It'll be Thorp's ball. 2:15 remaining. Thorp up by 6. Rosemeyer over to Rather. Takes it across the timeline. They feed it down underneath to Hansen. Puts up the shot. It's partially blocked, but they kick it out to Sutton. Over to Rosemeyer, to Stewart, who backs out. Ball gets knocked loose, but he picks it up. Over to Hansen, to Sutton.
Colfax has to think about fouling.
Feed it underneath, shot goes up, and he got fouled on the way up. Hansen got fouled. Sikora didn't like the call. That's his first personal, 6th team foul on the Vikings. They did have one to give. So the shot goes up, it's good. Sikora didn't like the call because he thought he got nothing but the ball.
And the guy that called the foul was the farthest away.
Second shot on the way, it's no good. Jensen with the rebound, gets it to Sikora. Over to Albright, back to Sikora. Sikora feeds into the lane, ball gets knocked loose. And down the floor come the Cardinals. Rather with it. Gets it down onto the right side to Sutton. Comes down to the right baseline. Feeds it high, wide, and left. Coach Noel wants the Vikings to start fouling. Ball gets knocked loose in the paint. And finally, Vikings commit the foul. Ensminger gets the foul. I believe it was on Ensminger with the push.
Let's see, that'll be 4 on Ensminger.
It's going to send Hansen to the line for the 1-and-1. Minute 13 to go. Vikings need to get some shots to drop. Shot goes up and it's good. 50-42. Mason Yarrington into the lineup for the Vikings. Shot goes up. And it's no good, but the Cardinals come away with it. And the foul is called. It's going to put Rosemeyer to the line. Foul on Sikora. It's his second. I think Yarrington was put in also be a designated fouler.
Yeah, you know, Yarrington and JV has got a good three-pointer.
And the shot goes up and in by Rosemeyer.
I don't know how much he'll get a look, but you never know.
Second shot on the way. That one's also good. 52-42. Back up to a 10-point lead. A minute 3 to go. Ensminger with it. Takes it into the paint. Ball gets taken away from him. And the Cardinals come down the floor. Vikings in too much of a hurry now. And we get a whistle and a foul on Albright. It's going to send Rather to the line for the 1-on-1. That's the third foul on Albright, 9th team foul on the Vikings. Shot goes up, it's no good. Rebound taken down by the Vikings. Ensminger with it. Vikings need to be popping some threes now.
Sweet.
Shot comes out, or ball comes out. Ensminger to Yarrington with a three. No, Jensen with it. Feeds it out to Albright, three-pointer on the way. No, Jensen with it. Out to Ensminger, puts it up. No. Rebound taken down by Sikora. Sikora to Albright. Albright out to Ensminger. 17 seconds. Ensminger into the lane, puts the shot up. It's good. 10 seconds remaining.
Got a foul.
And we get the whistle and the foul with 6 seconds to go. Yarrington gets the foul. And it's going to send Rather to the line. Shooting the 1-on-1. Check that. He's going to be shooting the double bonus. He's shooting 2. His first shot is good. Second shot is no good. Pass comes down to Ensminger. 3 seconds left. Puts up the three. No good. So the final score, the Thorp Cardinals 53, Vikings 44. We'll have Viking postgame coming up right after this timeout. You've been tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for Colfax Viking Boys Basketball. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Post Game, where we'll take a look back at today's Viking game.
Time now for Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Boys game. And now, Viking Postgame.
And we're back here at Thorp High School, where the Vikings come up on the short end of a 53-44 score. And Dan, this is going to be a very frustrating one for the Vikings. They allowed Thorp to open up a big lead in the first half. It was about 15 points at one time. They came back. They came storming back in the second half to take a lead. In fact, I even wrote it down. They took the lead at 8:07 remaining in the game. They got it up to about a 5-point lead, and it looked like they had things pretty much under control. And then all of a sudden, the shots started going cold, and they got a little sloppy with the ball. And Thorp kept their cool and came storming back and ended up winning by 9.
Yeah, you know when you get to high school basketball, you got to up your game. You got to be able to play with a little more intensity. You know, it may work in the backyard, but once
this
you
is
come
not
to
backyard basketball.
the other teams come to play, you got to be able to get up on your guy and not let him have those shots. And you got to make sure your passes are clean and make sure they go on the hoop.
Now, I'm not sure if we're going to get a coach up here tonight. In fact, I'll be honest with you, I'd be kind of surprised if we do. Although I would like to, because there's a couple things I would like to ask the coaches about from this game. For example, I want their understanding of traveling. Elijah Ensminger got called for traveling 3 or 4 times on places where he had open shots at the basket, never stopped his dribble, never picked up his dribble, and got called for traveling. I don't understand how that's possible, because theoretically you can't get called for traveling as long as you keep dribbling.
Right.
And
yeah, you know, there's always going to be a couple calls that are kind of questionable, but
when
you know,
it's the same call repeated, that's an issue. And I'd like to know what I'm misunderstanding about that, or if somebody else is misunderstanding about it. And so evidently it doesn't look like we are going to be able to get anybody up here tonight. I'm sure Coach Knowles very frustrated with the way this game turned out. Tell you what, we're going to take a bit of a timeout here, and then we'll come back and you can give a scoring rundown if we don't have a coach up here. You're tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV by calling 715-563-1749.
And we're back here at Thorp High School with Viking Post Game. Vikings come up on the short end of that scoreboard, you see, 53-44. Dan, tell us how we got to those point totals.
Yeah, here's the scores for Thorp tonight. They're led by number 5, Aiden Rosenmeyer, with 17. Then we had Brady Stewart with 8. We had Ryan Rather with 7. Logan Hansen with 7. Zach Tiemann.
Okay, now we got the audio back. All of a sudden it decided it was done for the night before we were. So go ahead, where you were at Zach Tiemann with the last one that you had
Number
mentioned.
33, Zach Tiemann, he had 6 points. And Sutton had 5, and Sean Hughes had 2. For the Colfax Vikings, they were led by number 10, Elijah Ensminger. He had 19, followed by Tristan Lenz and Nick Jensen with 8. Nate Hajdukovic with 4, Bryce Sikora with 3, and Ryan Albrecht with 2.
And that brings us to, well, it would help if I turned my mic on. There we go. That brings us to 53-44, Thorp topping the Vikings. Vikings have got to turn things around and get ready to take on the Boyceville Bulldogs the next couple nights. Your final thoughts about this one, Dan?
Yeah, there's things that got to be cleaned up on this team before next game. I mean, we don't have much to work on. There's not a lot of time, but this team's got to start getting together. You know, they got it's kind of a roller coaster, and they just got to keep believing in themselves that they can win these games.
They got to be a little crisper with their passes, a little quicker with their passes, and they can't get reckless. They can't go into that panic mode, because as soon as they do, they just start getting really reckless, and they don't get good. They don't get good looks at the basket. I don't know if it's a matter of fundamentals getting squared up, but then all of a sudden things start to go south, and then it isn't real pretty.
Right, yeah. And communication has got to be key out on the court. They got to be able to know each other, be able to yell at each other, talk to each other, and find a way to get a win.
Yeah, and yelling at each other doesn't mean you're mad. It just means it's just an encouragement. So, all right, well, hey, we mentioned the Vikings do have a game coming up on Thursday, and we want you to don't forget to join us here on the NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network Thursday night, as the Viking boys will host the Boysville Bulldogs in a Dunn St. Croix Conference matchup. Live coverage will begin with Viking pregame. That starts at 6:55. That's Colfax Boys Basketball Thursday night on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. And then don't forget the girls are also playing. In fact, that's tomorrow night, as the Viking girls travel over to Spring Valley to take on the Spring Valley Cardinals in a Dunn St. Croix Conference matchup. That's Colfax girls basketball tomorrow night on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. The Bloomer Colfax Wrestling Raptors will compete in the WIAA Regional Wrestling Tournament on Saturday, and that tournament will be over in Neelsville. And I want to remind you that tonight's Colfax High School basketball game is brought to you by the Colfax Animal Hospital, Dairy State Bank, Anderson Bridges, Slayton's Technology, Pleasant Valley Properties, Aaron's Custom Baling, Fit Fam Nutrition of Colfax, and Kyle's Buff and Shine. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you the Colfax Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. So for Dan Petchow and Chris Olson, this is Rick Olson. That final score, once again, Thorp Cardinals 53, Vikings 44. You've been tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Boys game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.